Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Distant Stars in our Dynastic Divinity series. We are looking at the binary system that is the Razogethi system. And I was rather lazy with my colony naming in the system, as I just realized. We've been doing a lot of colonizing over the past, really just over the past episode, because we finally locked down the territory we needed to. I always say that. I say locked down a lot. I feel like that's a bit of a broken record thing in this series in particular. But I mean, we really have been in a rush to secure our borders against some potentially threatening adversaries in an otherwise really friendly galaxy. And Razogethi is one of the prettier, nicer systems with more planets. There's also, of course, don't forget, the Rimmic system, which has a couple of terraforming projects going in it right now. So speaking of projects, we are currently working on modifying the Oranathi. We're removing the other negative... Actually, no, we're not removing the other negative trait. We are adding traditional to them. We might remove that other negative trait eventually, but we're working on a research speed boost, and we're 10 months away from our second ever Elgate Insight. We're 24 months away from the modification project finishing. So let's go to speed 3 and let things develop for a bit. We do have some upgrades processing. Rimmic Station is almost done upgrading. We of course have the ability to upgrade to star fortresses across the board, so I may as well go ahead and start giving those orders, starting with the Genesis Station. Genesis is of course complete. Our core system, our home system. Cleared. If you'd forgotten. That's where we started. That's where old Orin is. And since we are playing as a religious, feudal, eventually feudal, not really very feudal right now, I don't have any vassals yet, but as we're playing as a religious nation, empire, I thought it would be nice to name that system Genesis. Okay, do we have enough for another upgrade? Yes, we do. Let's go ahead and upgrade the one in Stratal.
System survey complete.
And we'll
Special project complete.
Nice. So another one of our hunt for extraterrestrial life. What's the specific name of the project? I forget. Alien Specimen Procurement Project, which most of these are in unfriendly Empire space, but we have had a few border openings over the past episode or two since I gave these orders for this science ship to look for this, so they're still working on it. They had to travel a good ways. But let's go ahead and see what this one says. Snyrans are large, burrowing creatures that live beneath the dunes of the vast equatorial deserts on Throne of Death. When these predators sense movement in the sand above, they immediately raise dozens of tall spikes from their backs in the hope of impaling something edible. Finding a suitable specimen proved difficult at first until hundreds of tracked remote-controlled drones were dispatched across the desert in random directions. This led to the discovery and procurement of an unusually large specimen that had grown more than 100 spikes on its back. Okay, so we got some society research, which would be good for our project. Modification project that we're working on. We also have some additional stuff to be doing here. Let's see. Those mining stations are being built. We have a couple of construction ships in Uweron. I don't think we need all those in Uweron. Why don't you go ahead and... Oh, we don't have the influence for that. Oh, of course we don't. That's not an adjacent system yet. All right, so you build these mining stations, please. And then one of you... I do need 2 construction ships in this area, so why don't you come on through to Gedexis. Meanwhile, you build that research station, please. And then eventually we'll build the Widbaril station. We're still working to come up here and expand into the Unar patch as soon as possible, because that's going to be potentially a really nice external sector for us. Also, it could be the area where, like, the Brethren Scourge lands. When we hit the endgame threat. And we got a very good comment, I think on the last episode, from one of my regular viewers talking about how there's a potential issue with the fact that we might not have enough minerals per turn. I'll be honest, when I read the comment, it was really good. I didn't have the time to actually sit down and think about whether or not I agreed or whether or not I might have an alternative perspective, but it's an interesting take, definitely, if you're curious and if you enjoy reading the comment section about what might happen in the future of the series, given the settings that we put for particularly technology speed and how things have been going so far. So, a new faction has recently been gaining traction. I think they need to change that wording. Does anyone else think they need to change that wording? I mean, the faction traction rhyme just starts to grate after a while. Led by scientists Sukradig and Badir, they call themselves the Friends of Liberty Network. Their members work for equality and justice for all denizens of our empire. Well, all right, Rimmic 3B has been terraformed into a tropical world. That is great news. You know what that means? We can launch a colony ship from Rimmic Prime. And we can probably land it Probably best to land it here, I would imagine. Or maybe here. I'm going to land it... I know it seems strange because I can potentially maximize... No, actually, this might still work. Hang on. I'm thinking about adjacency bonuses, and the fact that, adjacency bonuses for the colony center don't apply to research, which is why I try to avoid doing this. But if I put it here, then I could put resource-type buildings like food, energy, or minerals next to it. But then I would potentially have to replace one of these tiles. But there's so much energy on this planet, I'm not going to worry about it. We are going to go ahead and go with that. What I'm thinking about are the blank tiles where I like to put some of the miscellaneous buildings that really boost unity and resource production. And yeah, I just did a hand gesture. You can't see my hand gesture. but the point is that if I put the colony ship here, yes, that allows me more flexibility with, taking full advantage of the adjacency bonuses, but it takes away from potential free slots that don't have anything attached. But we still have the option later on of using the very first ascension perk we picked and adding a few more slots to this world. So this is Rimek Sekunduza. We could always randomly name planets. The only time that this button appears is when you're colonizing, so I always miss it. People keep saying, hit the random button, Hadrian, and I'm like, what? What random button? It's because it's here, and you never see it again after that. But, Rimek Prime, we named... tell you what, let's just call this, let's go with Rimek Secundus, but I'm going to come back, and we're going to think about... a more proper name, given the significance that we discussed in the previous episode of that system and the similarity of it to the Genesis system in Old Orin. I think that is deserving of some more concerted thought soon.
Construction complete.
Okay, so that one is already being built. Just looking around for something for this construction ship to do. Why don't you come out this direction, sir? Thank you. And you are done here. So why don't you go ahead and expand to... Well... Yeah, go ahead and expand to Widboril. Here follows the latest newsletter for all of our patrons. The Enclave has been busy the last couple of months. The halls are abuzz with a new kind of technology invented by a resident capable of transmitting sensations of smell to a user. This remarkable piece of machinery will surely change everything. In order to further develop this idea, we will require more donations. We can get some influence, which is really handy, by donating a little bit of influence. Or energy. Not bad. Okay, we have another Elgate Insight. Yay. That's not really going to do anything for us at the moment, I don't think. Yeah, we have to get 7, so... Narratively, I feel like something can be added to that, where it builds a little bit more, like there's a little bit more suspense as you get closer to 7, and it starts out simple, but you get different types of, maybe randomized, so you don't get the same ones every time. Kind of story blurbs when you do those insights. I don't know, they'd be cool. Some of them are, but the actual researchable insights don't have that. So, flak battery or space torpedoes? That is the question. Or faster destroyer build speed. Let's go for space torpedoes so we have the option of that weaponry. I feel like that's probably...
Incoming transmission.
A pretty good idea. We have a lot of things to build. We have a trade deal offer. Research agreements. That's not going to help me a whole lot. It's going to help you a whole lot more than it helps me, and you're going to give me some minerals for it. You might be my vassal eventually, so... See, I don't know. Like, I think I might actually decline this because I would like to angle myself towards being their overlord, and we need to be very, very powerful compared to them. So I'm going to be a little wily here. I'm going to say no, because I want to start getting ahead of those guys so that we can potentially... We have their freedom guaranteed, so the Krithakan Dynastic Union is not going to conquer them unless they want to fight us. And chances are they don't want to fight us. But... Speaking of that, I should probably go ahead and upgrade the starport and Haneri just in case we do end up fighting them, because that is their current only way into my territory.
Anomaly found.
Anomaly found. A small rectangular object on the surface of this planet
to a new world.
Is deflecting all scanning beams like a mirror. Our senses are unable to determine its material composition. It's very easy. It'll be done in no time. So we'll keep the game paused while we look at this building stuff and then go back to that anomaly. So here we have to build... hydroponics farm is okay there. And then how about, yeah, just a basic science lab for you will be fine. Rimek Prime still does not have a Paradise Dome of all things. Let's go ahead and get that going. And you will need a mineral processing plant at some point. And you know what I think it's time to do? Let's do this really quickly while I'm looking at it, while I'm thinking about food. Balanced. All right, so our food storage capacity just went up. We will lose a little bit of a growth bonus for a bit until we hit our cap again. But it's not going to take us long to hit our cap, especially because we are adding some new food production as we speak. All right, so these are our new colony worlds. Do I not have the tradition yet that gives me additional... No, I don't. I haven't gotten it yet. We're almost there. We're 3 months away from it. But right now, I still don't have that tradition. It's so weird to be this far into a new game and not have that. Also, I need to give this guy something to do, don't I? You guys were like, Hadrian! There's one more unemployed pop! I know, I saw him. Let's do a visitor center there. I don't normally like to put those on tiles that aren't blank, but we'll do it there. Okay, Mudstrom Prime. Ooh, hello. Let's upgrade your capital. Yes, please. And then upgrade your mines. You are going to need a mine as well, or do you need... No, just do a mining network. And where were we before? Yeah, we were here. So, I kind of like the idea of putting the new pop on top of these. Ooh, yeah, we're going to need a growth clinic first and foremost. What am I thinking? Of course, we need that. That's the very first thing we need to do. Then Razogethi Prime. Yep, you need a mine. I'll do that for you. Actually, I'm going to put you there, and the fully grown pop is going to get a growth clinic built for them. And we can unpause and see what that anomaly says. Okay, so it looks like we've got a construction ship looking for something to do. Whoa. What's the deal here? Oh, there is another... Okay. I got confused for a second because I selected it from the outliner so I could only see one ship, but when you click on that button, it selects them both, so I couldn't tell that there was another one in the system because I wasn't looking at the one right above it, ironically enough. Alright, so with that being worked on, why don't you come over here as well, because this is where I'm going to need all my construction ships real soon. So that starbase is being built. We have enough to get another one going. Let's go ahead and give the order for the Gedexis base. While conducting surface scans on Chibon 4, Science Officer Modric Den Bachnar and the crew of the HSV Commodore discovered what appears to be an artificially carved slab of rock, covered in alien writing. They have not detected any other signs of alien activity on the planet, and exactly how this mural came to be here is a mystery. We have prepared a special project to translate the text. This is another anomaly that used to repeat a lot.
Log updated.
Speaking of regular commenters, someone did mention to me that my suspicions were correct about there being no repeated anomalies, but they couldn't remember either where they saw where it was talked about. So what we're thinking, this person said this, and I was like, you know what, that's a good point. I think you're probably right. What we're thinking is that it was in a dev stream. Is that on Twitch they mentioned it, but they haven't actually written it down anywhere that we know of. So that's the current discussion. Keep talking about it if you want. So I think it's interesting. I think it's really cool if it's really true that there's no repeated anomalies. Okay, Hobbin Station, that upgrade is still happening. Throd Station, however, ooh, Anchorage. Yup. You need a couple of things. You need that, and you need the Naval Logistics Office. And the Rimmick Station, oh, you're brand new. So, for you, I guess what I'm going to do is do our traditional shipyard and trading hub approach. Give you your crew quarters, too. Hydroponics Bay, not really. Listening Post is actually kind of tempting, but Listening Post should really be on border systems. Hyperlane Registrar? Hyperlane Registrar. Let's do that. It's a little bit weird to have one there, but, you know, there's a string of them down here, and they're not that far away. Who knows? We might eventually have stations all the way in between. Wouldn't that be cool to have stations all the way in between
complete.
with Hyperlane Registrars? Okay, so new colonies starting with one additional pop or starbase upkeep reduced by 20%. I kind of want to do that one first. Is it weird that I want to do that one first? Starbase upkeep reduced by 20% or new colonies with one. No, I was complaining about that earlier. Let's fix that. Because it is weird. It is. It's weird. Alright, you're going to go there, and you are going to go in these mines. Minerals, rather. How close are we? 9 months. Good. Let's put on speed 3, and we should be done with that before long.
Construction complete.
Okay.
Construction complete.
Looks like the colony in Torville is taking shape. The agreement we signed giving you access to our databanks has run its course. Would you like to extend it for another 10 standard years? Yes, of course. We had just enough energy to do it.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Research speed plus 5%. That was very, very well timed. Okay, so lots of weapon choices. I haven't put plasma launchers on my ships yet. And I do like to go for reactors early to where energy is not something that I have to micromanage. But I like the idea of going for proton launchers at the same time as we're going for space torpedoes. And it's a particles technology, and our current researcher is a particles researcher. It needs to level up for a little while, too. How old are you? That's right. This is the she-scientist. Vadrig den Palosh and Vabrig. So we have Vabrig and Vadrig, both female members of our species. Interesting choices for female name. Very not. They did an interesting job in Stellaris, or maybe the names are not gendered at all for the random generators. But like, if that's supposed to be a female name, you know, it's an interesting way of kind of bucking traditional, what we would consider maybe a female-sounding name, especially like in the English language and even in the Romance languages. You know, it's interesting. Vabrig and Vadrig. Those definitely sound very masculine, don't they? So if the random options are, in fact, for this set of names gendered, then that's really cool.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
All right, space torpedoes are done. We need to add in the ships, probably, but first... Defense platform hull points. We haven't done defense platforms yet, but it might be time soon, so maybe having that... Let's go ahead and do that, in case we do run into a problem.
System survey complete.
Things are just going so well, it's hard to imagine that, but I mean, that's the exact reason that I'm doing it.
Complete.
Nice! Science Officer Modric Den Bachnar has managed to partially translate the alien mural discovered on Chiban 4. You know what? I'm not going to read the rest of this because this is one of the oldest anomalies in the game, and there's probably only like 1 or 2 people. So if you're one of the 1 or 2, you can pause if you want and give that a read, but we've all seen this a number of times. So let's see. 7 months remaining on that project, but not anymore. Just kidding. Now it's 5.
Special project complete.
Okay. The Tassargoid is an extremely lethal predator that stalks the dense jungles of Otirdiel at night, paralyzing its prey with electric shocks before sucking their brains out with its tube-like mouth. Good lord. Unfortunately, 3 of the crew members from the HSV Wimdur were lost to these creatures before a specimen could be secured. The Museum of Exobiology on Oloran will rename one of its wings after these brave officers to honor their sacrifice. Yay. Alright, so how close are we? 3 months? Now 2 months? Nice. So those points do in fact help.
Construction complete.
They do in fact help.
We are spreading our faith to a new world. Species tampered with. May the spirits forgive us.
Oh, knock it off. You'll be okay. Alright, now once again we do have a few pops that are still... Yeah, we need to fix that. I thought I had, but maybe it's from some of the colonies we just started. So once again, same issue. How long would that take? If we applied this template to the remaining pops.
Situation log updated.
Take 20 months? Good God, that's way too long. That's way too long. I think I'm just not going to worry about those guys for now. We can deal with 5 pops later on. It might not be 5 before long. Living on 2 planets in our empire. Well, where are you? Well, that shows Old Oren, but I need to know specifically where you are. Is there a way to see where these pops are? I don't think there is. Really frustrating. Okay, so let's now take a look at the Miravandia, because this situation needs to change. Speaking of projects that won't take very long, let's go ahead and create a template for the Miravandia in our empire. We're going to take out the weak modifier, and we can replace it, actually, we can make them strong, believe it or not. So we can go the opposite direction, which is kind of a cool idea. Especially from a roleplay perspective, I like that idea. Let's do it. Let's go the opposite way. Let's make them strong. And that's the new template. Oh, I set up that project. That's right. I need to let that one sit for a bit. All right, the education campaign and healthcare campaign edicts have expired. That's unfortunate. Yep, physics research is fine. Hydroponics farm is fine. Alright, those mining stations are being built. We're going to build that starbase next, and that'll be another pretty decent colonizable world. Alright, you're in Toraville. That's going to be a little bit more expensive to colonize. Actually, no, it won't. There's a lane. I don't know why I wasn't looking at the lane, but there is, in fact, a lane. Good.
Construction complete.
Good. All right. Yes, I know it failed. It's because I didn't actually start it. Okay, so we're going to apply this new template we've just made to the Miravandia.
Situation
It's going to take 21 months, but we're going to research it. This is putting us a little bit behind on our tile blocker research and other society research, but I think it's going to be... I think we're going to be happy that we did it. We have a lot of core planets. And we still have room for one more core world, and we have not done all of the core world research options. Huh. Yeah, this is going well. We have room for one more starbase as well. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and upgrade that to a star hold.
System survey
Some of the other upgrades are still happening. We can go ahead and upgrade the Thames Station to Star Fortress. Let's do that.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Okay, we're going to upgrade our growth on this planet, upgrade our unity, and then I actually like the idea of just upgrading those power plants first and foremost. Yeah, we're finally seeing more migration from all of our migration treaties, which is great to see. All right, defense platform hull points plus 500. That's very good. Advanced railguns sound nice, but I like the idea of going for some of these lesser techs first. Let's go for a flak battery, because that won't take long at all. Oh no. A Puzjok raiding fleet has been detected approaching our borders. Intercepted communications indicate that they have been hired by a rivaling foreign power to attack our systems. They are transmitting a message directed toward us on an open channel. Okay. Cowards huddling in darkness have asked us to face you since they are too afraid to do so themselves. Are there any Oranathi warriors honorable enough to meet us in open battle then, or must we plunder your systems unopposed? Show us your worth. Go to Red Alert. Okay. So they're going to come from that direction. Incoming raiders. Fun times. So we might fight them before the end of the episode. We'll see how this goes. But let me do... I guess this is a better... There's no better time to go ahead and look at my weapon systems and see where I might change things up. So the damage on these is 51 to 68. Damage on these is... Yeah, see, space torpedoes are just so much more powerful than antimatter missiles. I kind of want to make a third Corvette class, though, that is designed specifically for these. Let's go all in and make a new ship. And then, should we have a plasma thrower on the front? Or an X-ray laser? The only reason that's so powerful is that it's level 4 compared to the level 1. Maybe a plasma thrower would be a good idea. Just a really heavy-hitting Corvette. Let's do that. And these will be swarm type. Let's put afterburners on you. A little bit of armor. Some shields. Give you a random name. There we go. Bantarian. Very similar to the existing ones. Just trying to go for that. So, alright, so you have a plasma thrower as well. So we have two kind of... Wait, no, you don't. I was looking at the wrong one. So you have an X-ray laser. That's fine. I'll let you keep that. Of course, we have the disruptor here. Now let's see if there might be another ship design where we might want to consider those options. Put a plasma thrower on the back of this interceptor. It seems like all of our ships still have afterburners because I've been focusing on power upgrades first. It's one of the reasons I do it. Who knows, maybe we won't face them this episode because I'm spending some time doing this. Let's do space torpedoes on the front of this thing. I kind of like that idea. Just make this a much more badass ship. Yeah, let's do it. And I'm going to make these plasma throwers on the back. So the Therian just got a bit of an upgrade. And I could actually do a full-on torpedo cruiser as well, which I will quickly set up. Missile bow, missile core, and a broadside stern. So these are powerful against both armor and shields. Oh my god, this track just never gets old. I like it. Good spread of weaponry. And this is in our cruiser class, so... Winithion. Actually, we're going to go with that. Winithion. That's a little tongue-in-cheek, but that's okay. And we have to set up our components down here. Winithion. I love it. Oh, man. It's a torpedo boat literally made of wind. Okay, and how about auxiliary fire control so that we hit stuff with our torpedoes? Very cool. All right, so with that being done, let's go to Task Force Marasma, who still doesn't have any more command limits with which to expand because we're focusing our society research elsewhere. But as soon as we can, we will add some additional of those new ship types to Task Force Marasma. Or we can do a new fleet, but the issue is our naval cap can't really support another fleet of the same size. So let's go out to Ablapis. Ablapis. We're going to let the game run for a few more seconds here. An unusually deliberate geometric configuration of minerals drifts. Oh, the heavy damage inflicted upon the Puzjak raiding fleet has been enough to give pause to their warriors. After reconsidering their options, the Puzjak have apparently decided to abandon their raid and withdraw back to their own space. Haha. Okay, just kidding. No raid. So they tried to go through this territory and they got their butts kicked. Geomagnetic configuration of minerals drifts through the debris belt by TD-112 and is possibly of alien origin. Research. Okay, well, with that false alarm, let's go ahead and give this order for the starbase.
Complete.
This construction is complete over here, so we're going to bring our last construction ship this direction. But we'll be expanding more rapidly into the Unar Patch area, and it looks like it's uninhabited because there's a lot of ancient mining drones that have made sure it has remained so. So next couple of episodes should be pretty exciting because we have a whole area to explore. There might be an empire here, but I'm not seeing one. So we have an opportunity to claim a lot of this space for ourselves and also get an actual lane to the Holy Miravandia Confederation that is not blocked by the Oganalox or the Fallen Empire, which is pretty cool. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day. Well, most every day. Right now, I've got my thesis defense coming up in like 9 days. So schedule is a little wonky right now. But normally, every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.